Good evening, dear Tibetan. This is Emmanuel Mteniswa coming once live this evening. Today is the 21st of November 2019. We are actually having good news coming from the admin blog. The first thing that I would want to remind is the issue of the redemption period. Since we know that we are all in the redemption period, we are happy to have got the results published in the admin to say that the redemption has been extended up to the 31st of January 2019. Halala, redemption, halala. We are going to have enough time to engage, especially our newest members who are joining us, in terms of educating them, leading them all the way, because our main task is to show the people the way, is to lead them. Come this way and go this way. This is our task, especially as leaders and as well as broadcasters. I would love to share this moment once again in joining my fellow um, um, compatriots, my fellow colleagues, all the broadcasters who are doing this wonderful job across the whole globe. My name is Emmanuel. I'm coming all the way from the southern tip of Africa in South Africa, in the city of Johannesburg. Now, I want us to deal with one issue this evening. This is an issue which was published some weeks ago concerning the public notice. I would love us to visit the blog and so that we can share on some of these issues which we had. Let me see. I need that part concerning let me get into this blog. I think this is the one that I'm looking for. The concerning the public notice. Yes, here we are. I want us to go straight into the public notice issue. This is a very much important as far as I am concerned, particularly this time of the year. The Kringle Society mission statement, especially also, we need to constantly remind ourselves about this important event which took place on the 1st of October. Especially, this is also, I'm doing it for the newest people, including those people who might have not, who were not aware that we have got this notice globally. It reads like this: Kringle Private Society, the Billion Coin, a global sharing of Elemoncenary Society. Public announcement, October the 1st, 2018. Let us quickly read this one. It goes as, this public announcement is directed to the current members of the worldwide private society that has been known since March 2016 as the Billion Coin or TBC, as well as to all parties, both public and private, who may have an interest in this information. The intent of this announcement is to inform our members of important changes and refinements to our structure that are being implemented at this time to better serve our members and more accurately portray the nature and character of our society, our private membership, association, and our global mission. This is being undertaken to better define exactly what our society and membership community is and has always been since our inception. These changes and refinements are a result of further research and investigation into the necessary compliance requirements of the global system. This relates to laws pertaining to monetary systems, public versus private currencies, and other matters. Let's go ahead, members. We have always, since the beginning, directed our efforts in creating the billion coin to be in full compliance with all laws and the jurisdictions, while at the same time providing the solutions we have developed to relieve global poverty for all people in this world. With our new research and investigation, we have determined that certain use of language was misleading and potentially able to be misconstrued. Therefore, the time for clarity and precision is now upon us as a community. Certain fundamental components of our private society and membership association were inferred, but not necessarily precisely conveyed with our choice of language and presentations. Thus, we now see that we must correct previous errors and mistakes, whether done by commission or omission, and more properly present to our membership and the world at large what exactly we are and what we are not. In this regard, pursuant to this announcement, we wish to define these fundamental points and the principles to achieve clarity for all concerned. These points are as follows. Let us go to these points. Point number 1. The TPC community was founded as a private society and a private contract association, and continues as such to this day. It will always be defined exactly by these two phrases. Number 2, a private society is not incorporated in any jurisdiction and is established upon the right of all people to have and express the paramount right of self-determination and the private association. As an incorporated body politic, we do not derive our existence from any external authorization, but by the will and the intent of the members of the society. Number 3, at the same time, we honor and respect the laws of all nations and do not encourage any member to do otherwise. It is of the highest importance in our principles of association that we remain in honor and peace with all people and all nations. Our society is founded upon a mission, purpose, with stated principles. This mission purpose will soon be formally defined in a public mission statement, while at the same time, since our inception, we have put forward the principles that in fact define our mission and purpose in various written presentations, both public and private. The mission and principles are simple and pure. We are here to provide the people of this world a tool to alleviate all poverty and suffering for all people. This tool puts into the hands of the people the right of self-empowerment. A private contract association is a group of people who come together to form a mutual basis of association, a mutual benefit society in which all benefit from the structure, tools, and principles of the society accrue to and are shared by all the members. A private society and a private contract association, styled as a mutual benefit society, is not owned by any individual. They exist by the will of the members and are established on the basis of privately contracting to an agreed upon set of rules and activities. These rules have already been made clear since our beginning as to what is required to be a member of our society and association in good standing. As a member in good standing, one has the benefit of using the billion coin and the Kringle currency as a private medium of exchange. One of our mistakes was naming this currency as a form of money, which we now realize is not accurate and thus will soon be corrected. The term money carries certain legal definitions and implications. Thus, by this announcement, we are making it clear that any and all use of terms such as money, dollar, euro, or other similar words and references was done in error and mistake. We therefore hereby issue our formal apology and a declaration of intent to correct such mistakes forthwith and with the utmost expediency possible. TBC and Kringle are not commercial instruments or negotiable paper as those terms are defined in domestic and international legal systems. Any implications, inference, or aspersions to the contrary were done in error, and again we apologize. Any misunderstanding or confusion caused by our inaccurate use of language, all of which will soon be corrected on our websites and any other material available, either public or private. TBC and Kringle are not in any way a security instrument. They do not secure any interest in any intrinsic value, commodity, asset, or account. They are a privately issued medium of exchange, available only to members of a private mission society and a private contract association, pursuant to and according to its private rules of membership and participation. The inherent value that they represent is only the life force and the spiritual value of our private society members. We are a global sharing and eleemosynary society. The sharing is derived by the private contract agreement to share our value and the life force with each other for mutual support and benefit. TBC and Kringle are a private currency, which means it is designed to flow through a channel much like as river has a current and flows through its course, or electricity has a current that flows through wires that provide the value of kinetic work to light our homes and run our factories. We share the common purpose and the value of using our life force as a current that flows through the course of our system, which is made up of living men, women, and children. Eleemosynary means charitable, and we define our society as such because we believe in the true charity of kindness, giving, sharing, and supporting lives of integrity and respect. As we all work together to build this global community, we are providing true giving and sharing for all who participate. Any use or reference to commercial terms or comparative value ratios against national currencies or precious metals is only for comparative purposes, and it does not impute any direct or secured relationship to such instruments or assets. Any misconstruction of this in the past was done by mistake and error, for which we apologize and shall rapidly correct as stated herein. Any inference that TBC or Kringle is a medium of investment is entirely inaccurate. And once again, any language in previous materials, websites, or presentations that may have engendered such mistaken inferences shall be corrected. Any statements that our private medium of exchange carried fungible potential with public currencies was never inferred or intended. Henceforth, we shall use the formal names of our organization as the Kringle Private Society and the TPC Private Contract Association. Our mission statement and related materials to this effect will be forthcoming and made available to the public via our two official websites. We do not accept any misconstruction of our society, purpose, principles, or association that might be found on any other public media. That is YouTube, social media platforms, individual websites. Only formal authorized materials shall be henceforth be considered acceptable to represent these entities, and such materials will always be issued under the formal seal of the society, which is currently being developed and will soon be announced on our websites. Upon such announcement, all materials, brochures, publicly accessible web pages, and any other medium of communication will display the seal, and only the TPC administrative team shall be authorized to use said seal. In the near future, articles of association will be published for the private contract association. All current and future members will be required to electronically sign and accept the articles in order to continue with their membership. These articles will comprise the contractual basis of our association, thus fulfilling the requirements of a private contract association, henceforth also referred to as PCA, Private Contract Association. These articles will contain already existing rules of membership, with the addition of a few required stipulations to properly reflect the information presented in this announcement. As a private society, the Kringle Private Society has full authority to create its own form of governance, law form, court, and private treasury. These will be established to better serve and protect the interests of our members, and they will be available to every member for the settlement of disputes and other such basic principles of a balanced society of men, women, and children. It will take time to properly fulfill these requirements, and all members will be kept informed as to the progress thereof. We request the understanding and patience of our members in this process. Our purpose and mission includes the education of our members so that they grow into properly informed and intelligent members of the private society and the larger world society of our respective countries and the world as a whole. In months to come, we shall be implementing tools for such education so that our members can be successfully with TPC and the Kringle and understand how to use it for their benefit and the mutual benefit of all our members. Within such education, some of the terms and points contained in this announcement and in future materials will be clarified so that we proceed forward together as a well-educated body politic of competent and educated people that are here in association to benefit ourselves, the communities and nations in which we live and work, and the world as a whole. The only value that TPC and Kringle carry is that of the mutual benefit, confidence of our private members. We hold the value of every human being on this planet to be of the highest order, pursuant to our privately held beliefs and conscience. All of our members comprise the collective value of our society. As an ecclesia, in brackets, defined as the body of the congregation, brackets, that is the living body of our congregation together. We are a non-denominational and a non-hierarchical body of living beings. This is the definition of a body politic. Thus, we consider our society to be an ecclesiastical body, politic, immune from the public, commercial, and corporate jurisdictional authorities of constituted national bodies politic. We do not ascribe to any given religion, path, or other denomination of belief or creed, while at the same time we support all of our members in the pursuit of their own right of self-determination to uphold individual beliefs and modes of living through private and personal conscience. The only exclusion to this principle is against those who would use our society to promote violence or harm to others. This includes an absolute forbiddance of any illicit use of our private medium of exchange in any manner to take advantage of other or to transgress the domestic laws of the nations in which one lives. We are here to promote peace and prosperity for all human beings and all living things in this world. The Kringle Society has been established in conformity and in alignment with the Pantera di Doro Private Society. All records of the Kringle Private Society are secured and held in a private permanent archival system of records of the Pantera Dora Society Court of the Ecclesia. We are in full alignment with the global published Declaration of Intention, Power 2 of the Pantera Dora Private Society and formally adopt the principles contained therein. As a member of the Pantera Doro Private Society, we are aligned with and included therein to the formal announcement to all world administrative bodies, bodies to the power 3, and the offer of treaty of peace and cessation of hostilities presented to the Holy See to the power 4 via the Nuncio of Washington, District of Columbia. We are at peace with all public entities and institutions worldwide, neutral in the public and proceeding in peaceful harmony and a committee with all agencies, departments, and authorities of any and all public entities of national character. Henceforth, all public communications shall be under the seal of the Kringle Private Society and the international flag of peace. To all of our current members, please be patient as we undertake the necessary changes as described in this announcement. We will have abundant details ready to provide within our private member enclosures in weeks and months to come. The changes being undertaken will assure a stronger and more resilient membership for us all, for all of us, for the fulfillment of our mission and the prosperity of all. Thank you for your patience and consideration and the continuing support. Finally, we wish to address something that is currently in progress with respect to an inquiry being conducted by the Securities Exchange Commissions, CES in brackets, of the United States. Some of our members are aware of this, but most are not. Thus, we want to be clear and above board on this point so that all are aware of the situation and understand it properly. This inquiry is a legal process by an authorized government agency. We understand that this is being done with most or all crypto and digital currencies to determine if any given currency is in fact structured or promoted as a security as such would be defined by United States laws. As we all know, many new currencies, coins, and tokens are being created now and have been for several years through a type of offering known as an initial coin offering, ICO. This is, of course, similar to what occurs when a private company decides to take a corporation public by contracting with a market maker to underwrite an initial public offering, IPO. So obviously, there are similarities in language and function. An IPO sells stocks in a company that is backed by the assets of the corporation and is promoted on the basis of future earnings. This secures the shares of stock by the assets and thus is a security within the scope of US law, and the SEC has jurisdiction over such securities to regulate and control them within the public markets. That agency is called the Securities Exchange Commission because it regulates and oversees the ongoing exchange of securities through normal market functions. When ICOs first came out, they offered coin or tokens for cash, usually denominated in United States dollars, over which the United States and its agencies have jurisdiction. The coins issued were secured against the cash raised by the offering and oftentimes by an asset base such as real estate that were explicitly stated to back the coin. This then became a form of security, and thus the SEC has been investigating many of these coins to determine whether they are a security or not, and if so, to bring them into the regulatory environment of their jurisdiction. In the case of TBC and Kringle, we do not fall into this category. We have never made any claim that TBC and Kringle are a form of secured interest in assets or public funds. We are not in the jurisdiction of the United States because we are not a corporate entity in that jurisdiction and do not derive our authority to exist or operate from said jurisdiction. We have always been clear that we are a private society and a private member organization. We now realize that we made a mistake in referencing the value of TBC and Kringle in dollar terms, and this was corrected earlier this year. We now make reference to grains of gold, but to be absolutely clear, we have never declared either publicly or privately that the currency of TBC and the Kringle are secured or backed by gold, only using a grain of gold as a reference point. The value of TBC is simple and solely the value of all living beings who participate in our private society by and through our private contract association. When any member joins the TBC community, they contract to abide by the rules that we publish. Yes, we will soon be expanding the details of our structure with written and educational materials to reflect this. But since inception, we have only been a private member organization, and the value of our currency is nothing more than the value of our membership. So, for any members who are currently under a subpoena by the SEC to provide data and information, we encourage you to be fully cooperative with their inquiry at all times. Tell the truth as best as you know and understand it. We have nothing to hide or avoid. So, the truth is always the best policy. We firmly believe that in the end, this inquiry will prove the statements we have made here, and the SEC will determine that we are not offering securities, have never made any sort of initial coin or public offering, and do not promote any secured interests. TPC and Kringle are private mediums of exchange to be used to promote equitable exchange between private parties for goods and services. If some members have exchanged TPC for domestic currencies of any country, then they should consult professionals as to any legal requirements that may entail as far as taxation, reporting, or other considerations with respect to their home country of residence or domicile. This also includes if the exchange of a private medium of exchange for goods and services in your domestic jurisdiction might carry any tax implications. We will always encourage our members to recognize the truth in the statement that all persons liable to report and pay income taxes must do so in conformity with local law. In the near future, we will be formally structuring our society, PCA, and community, and a more precise detail as to what is acceptable and proper with respect to exchange and the use of the private medium of exchange known as TPC and Kringle. This concludes our public announcement at this time and date. All inquiries pursuant hereto can be sent to admin@kringleprivatesociety.org. Sincerely, TPC admin. There we go. There we go, members. There we go. This is the mission statement, the public announcement, of which it is a very important undertaking by the Billion Coin on our behalf. Clarity has been made. Clarity has been pronounced in this public announcement. I will reiterate, I re-encourage for us to understand things. We need to keep on going back to these important notices so that we understand exactly the language of the Billion Coin nowadays. Because what was right in a year's time ago, it is no longer in the proper system for today. Things are changing in the Billion Coin. So I wanted to share with all of you members this evening. Read this blog on your own time. Read this announcement at your own home comfort. Discuss such issues with members. Those especially newest people, they need to be informed fully about these important events and public announcement made by the Billion admin on our behalf. I hope that this is going to help other fellow TPians out there in order for us to be with the same understanding. Education is the only key. Education is the knowledge. Knowledge is power. We need to help and advise and educate each other time and again. I would love to believe that we shall always use admin. We shall always rely on the admin wherever you are across the board, across the world. For now, my leaders, my mentors, my community, allow me to say once again, may our Lord bless you wherever you are. May the love of God locate each and every TPian and be kept in the safety of the Almighty, our Creator. And also, we need to keep on prayers for our admin, for our leaders and admin globally. For now, allow me to say I salute you. Thank you very much. Till we meet again in the next episode. I sign off. Thank you. Bye.